as you've all discovered, trying to do a walk cycle, it can be very complicated and very challenging. I'll share with you my walk cycle. It's simple, but it gets the idea. If you could run that real quick, Scott, please. So here's my walk cycle. It's pretty basic, but it's straightforward. And I got a little flip action going on in his foot. That's just a little finesse. That's just to throw it in there to add, to follow through. It's like your secondary motion. It's like your follow through action. I could have added a flip on the foot as the foot was dragging. And if I want to go back, I can go add a hat. I can add a ponytail. Just about, I can build from here. So like with your walk cycles, you can do the same thing. But like Tater was saying, a walk cycle is very challenging. But don't let that, don't let that discourage you. Just work on it. Because you're at an age, if you can master a walk cycle now, that your leaps and bounds ahead of people just starting animation like in colleges. Walk cycle is pretty complex. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about, if you want to talk about the walk cycle, we can. The best thing to do is either videotape yourself, or you don't even have to do that. You could look at a lot of the reference that's out there today that people have for walk cycles. The books I recommended. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the amount of material you have in resources to help you learn animation. So today I'm just going to go through a basic head turn. Have any of you tried doing the head turn yet? You got something to share? You got something to share, Tater? Do you feel comfortable sharing your head turn?
No, I've done a head turn before. That was all I was saying.
Oh, okay. Jay's finishing up the stuff that Jay, do you have a head turn you can share?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was doing it a while ago, so it's kind of unfinished. Let me just grab that. I was kind of working on adding the face, but then
no worries.
So it's kind of.
And you got the blink in there too. Nice. Oh, look at you got fancy, you got horns on it too.
Yeah.
Look at you going above and beyond. Very nice. Good job. Wow. Makes me not want to share mine now. Good job, Jay. Did you find your walk cycle yet?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Let's take a look at that.
It's kind of like not a normal human. There's these little characters and they're kind of weird looking, so.
Hey, that's fun. That's fun. That's rocks. That rocks. I like how you changed your background up and you went with a lighter pencil or pen.
Yeah.
And they even got a hat on. Is that a hat I saw?
Yes, that is a hat.
Look at you. Jane, next level, everybody. Next level. Good job. Good job. Okay. So, Nathan, are you still there? I just want to take a look, see what everyone's working on. Good to see progress. Well, we're coming up on our last week. So I'm going to say, I'll leave this up to you. Have fun with it. Be creative. Pose-to-pose animation is very technical, and it's great for stuff like walk cycles. For complex animation, if you need a character that's going to be doing a fight scene, jumping from a table down to the floor, doing a back kick and a somersault, that character is going to go from A to B to C to D. So that's kind of complex. Straight ahead animation is fun. That's where you just draw. Just go and have fun with it. You don't have to plan so much. You could try to keep it, but just let it go. Just let it flow and just go with where the drawings take you. Keen, have you tried any animation, buddy? There's a program called Flip-a-Clip that it's free to download if you want to try playing with it.
I can't download anything on my computer.
Oh, okay. Then you could try doing like a flip book, like with index cards. You can try drawing on index cards and then flip them. And then that can give you a sense of animation. But if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, I'm going to basically talk about the head turn today. Jay had a good example. And if Scott, can I show my head turn real quick? So here's my example. So you got to take a moment to think about when the head turns, there's an arc. Everything moves in arcs. In animation, there's lots of arcs. So as your head turns, your head kind of dips down and comes back up. It generally doesn't turn straight across. It's kind of a natural. If you turn your head and you turn it sideways, usually there's a little dip. Hey, Cindy, welcome. So how's your projects coming along?
Oh, well, I redid my walk cycle, and
Nice.
I've kind of gotten bogged down in the technicalities of setting up layers, and so I'm not working on having the characters be super creative or anything, but I'm just kind of figuring out, I'm kind of reinventing the wheel, kind of figuring, oh, I should have done it this way, and that's exactly the way the book tells you to do it, and I should have done it that way. But so this is very similar to the last one. Yes.
And that's how we learn.
Exactly. Very similar to the last walk cycle I did. It's just a little bit, instead of the last time I did it, I kind of picked it apart into layers as I went, because I realized, oh, these need to be on layers. So this one I did set up from the beginning, knowing what layers I wanted things to be on. And I was trying to kind of figure out how to keep track of the poses with, you'll see some numbers and stuff on there. So this is someone doing their exercise with their weights in their hands.
Hey, good job.
But the numbering, I just kind of, when I wanted to keep track of which arm was in which position, and I started figuring out how to do the numbering, and I'm like, you know what, this is exactly what the book says. I should have put it on the background and, planned it all out that way.
Yeah, I don't know if you were on one of the earlier ones. One of the earlier ones I suggested writing numbers in the corner, because I started with traditional hand-drawn animation. That's how I learned. And I would put numbers in the corner because your papers get mixed up. It's not like a computer where it's all in the computer. You're shuffling papers around, you're looking for a drawing, you're checking your motion. So yeah, it helps, whatever you need to help you. Like Tater said, walk cycles is hard. It's not an easy thing.
Well, in that one, it was weird because the arms are, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starts on the second part of, what is it? What's the second step in the walk cycle? The down? Instead of on the contact.
You have your extremes. You got your passing.
Yeah, so the extremes aren't in the same place. So the extreme at the walk cycle isn't the same as the extreme of the arms. So that's why when I was copying and pasting so I could reuse my drawings on each frame, that's when I was losing track of which position everything was in, especially since they were shifted from the legs. So that's
Gotcha.
why I had to start numbering everything. So
What-
and then I start thinking, this would probably be easier in something like Adobe Animate or Krita or something where you have the layers and you can just shift the layer over
Well,
all at once, the whole
I'll flip
timeline.
it.
But
Oh,
yeah.
no, this is true. This is true. Yeah, when you're animating, because let me, Scott, if you could play my walk cycle real quick again, please. So if you look closely at my walk cycle, that's half a walk cycle, actually. I cheated. I did only half a walk cycle. Because my character is transparent, his arms and legs are just going to go opposite. So I just finished half a walk cycle, copy and pasted it. What gives it away is if you look at his right shoulder kind of jumps.
Yeah. I guess
And that's the
would've been
only
easy if
giveaway.
I'd done that.
If I wanted to do that and clean it up, I could, but for all intents and purposes, for the exercise, the workshop, it gets the point across. So once you get a walk cycle that you're happy with, you can go back and maybe add a hat, add a ponytail, and then, or maybe change up the walk. You got the basic down. Well, what if you wanted the character to maybe limp? Or, but, good job. No, I like what you did, the numbering, whatever you have to do to help you, because it's complex. And like I was telling these guys, when I first started learning the walk cycle, I had to videotape myself, and I put marks on the ground, and I studied my gait. I studied the motion of my arms. But nowadays with the internet, it's all available. Resources, books. What book were you referring to?
I've got the, let's see, I don't have the cover open, but you recognize this page from the,
That's Dick Williams.
yeah.
Yeah, that's Richard Williams' book. That's the animated survival. Great book. Very good book.
Yeah, that page is the one I wanted to try to do next. That looked like a fun exercise on that page.
He breaks it down to the nth degree where he has the foot turning out, the head turning in. No, he gets extreme on his stuff. Well, good. Heather Rose, how's your animation? Anything you guys want to share? You guys been kind of quiet. Well, good job. Good job. Looks good. All right. Well, if you guys want to share something, let me know. All right. I'm just going to do a real quick basic tutorial on a head turn. Jay already did it. Some of you may not be familiar with it. There's different ways to do it. Generally, when you have a head, and someone turns their head, there's a slight dip as it comes over. And you just make sure everything lines up. When I did my head turn, I did my drawing, I did my basic drawing with my key poses. And these are my key poses. Now, if you want, you can even go beyond that. You could do different things. Like as your head turns, you can have your head, instead of coming to its final key pose, you can have it come out furthermore, like it's looking, and then come back to rest in that pose. It's like ease in and ease out. Slowly turn, fast in the middle, and then ease out. So you're easing into the turn, and you just got to make sure that your arcs line up, your chin lines up with your chin, the character's nose lines up with their nose when they come through, because your eye, it's called gestalt. Any of you hear of the gestalt theory? The gestalt theory is this. If you look at this drawing of these 3 dots, your eye will generally want to fill in a dot there. It's just a psychological phenomenon. Well, our eyes will fill in the gaps. We don't have to draw every drawing. We do if we want it to feel right, but we don't have to draw, you know, millimeter by millimeter by millimeter, because our eyes will fill that spot in. It's kind of like a strobe light. Like when a character's moving, we fill the dots in between the drawing. So when you're doing a head turn, generally your character and like Jay did it as well, which is pretty good because a lot of beginners won't. As the head's turning, your character will blink. It's just another natural, it's like sneezing. When you sneeze, you blink. It's just occurs. If you look at animation, take a look at the characters and see how often they blink. If you watch, who's seen Polar Express? Great, I love it. The animation's a little, you could see where they spent the money and time on the animation. Like the scene with the on the train and they're singing hot chocolate, do, hot chocolate, in their dance and all that. They don't blink. Have you noticed that? Even some of the main characters don't blink. They have what I call dead eyes. They just have this deadpan look in their eyes. There's something unnatural about it. So it's something worth trying. To have your character, is they're turning, have them blink halfway. And basically a head turn happens in 5 drawings. You could get away with it in 5 drawings. If you want to do a faster head turn, you could do a smear in between, and you could do it in less if you want the character to like do a double take and look real quick. But for this next project, this last project of ours, it could be anything you want. If there's an animation that you like that you're working on, or that you did as one of your projects, maybe add to it, push it a little further. Maybe add a background. I know Flip a Clip has an option to add sound, so explore adding sound to it. You could also do try a little effects animation. So you can have, I don't know, maybe have an airplane fly across. And then maybe drop something as it flies across. And then try to do an animated explosion. Explosions are kind of cool because you can't really go wrong with them. So if you had someone drop a bomb or something, this might be your first drawing. And explosions happen fast. So if that's your first drawing of it hitting the ground, your next drawing might be something like this. So basically it's going from that then to this. And then from here your clouds dissipate and everything it has an organic feel to it. Or same thing like if you're doing rain, something that can cycle, depends how much you have. You could cycle rain in about 5 or 6 frames. But there's so much to animation that, you know, I suggest though working on the basics, like the walk cycle, the flag wave, the bouncing ball. The bouncing ball is very basic, but it's in just about everything. That superhero flour sack I did. It's basically a bouncing ball in a bag, like a pillowcase. But unlike, you know, it depends what you want to do. I really want to see you guys push the animation. Like you know, a ball bounces, but you can really push that. You can really push that ball so it's practically flat. But you also have to keep in mind if your ball is going to be this flat, that energy has to go somewhere. So that ball is going to shoot up. So anybody have any questions about their animation or any of their projects they're working on? Last week, Brian sat in our class and he was talking about hands in animation. As you saw in my walk cycle, I just kept it simple. I just kept simple little balls as hands, just because there's so much going on. If you look, see, I just kept his hands as little balls. You could make a fist. You can make, now if I wanted to go back and play with it, I can go and finesse the hand. Since it's on layers, I can redraw the character or just erase and redraw the hands and have the hands flip back and forth. He could be maybe I'll make him holding a baton like he's marching in a band. It's got that feel. I remember Cindy, didn't you have a character that was kind of had an attitude on your walk cycle? Yeah, look at that. I'm cool. That's what that says. I'm cool. Look at me strut. I don't have to exercise and work out. I'm just strutting my stuff with my blue leg. And that's great because that blue helps differentiate that background leg. So it's another convention you can use, or you could just shade it. Heather Rose, I saw you guys pop in. You guys ready to share with us? Not yet? Okay. Well, I'm trying to see if there's anything else you guys want to know. On a head turn, or even not doing a head turn, you could just, the bouncing ball exercise, you could play with here's a ball. That's basically what that is. That's just a ball. But you could play with the same kind of idea. If I wanted that character, so here's my character. If I want that character to maybe yell, so before he yells, so before that character yells, he's gonna anticipate up. His eyebrows are gonna move up real quick. So if you see that, let me turn off my light real quick. So if you see that, he's gonna, that's my anticipation.
Darrell, Keen would like to share.
Yes. Please, Keen. Thank you. What do you want to share, buddy?
I gonna share my flip a clip animation. It's the
All
run
right.
cycle. And oh yeah, I think it's going too fast with the show Ant-Man shrinking then getting crushed by a shoe.
I got the idea.
Or a random
funny.
dude.
That's funny.
Which one is that? I'm trying to make Ant-Man.
All that you need to do is just put some more in betweens in there. That's great.
What the heck is that?
Ask them what you needed to change in order to get your outcome if you want it.
Is there any way to slow it down a bit?
The only way to slow it down is that's where you add more drawings. The more drawings you add in between,
Oh.
right?
Figured it out.
The more added drawings you
Yeah,
add in
add more
between
drawings in between.
it shows the action. The more drawings, the less drawings you have, the faster it goes. So flip a clip generally operates on 12 drawings a second. So 1/1000. So that's about 12 drawings for whatever action you have going on. Now, watch, for example, if I drop this Prismacolor stick, 1/1. 1/1. So that's maybe a third of a second. So a third of a second, I might have just 3 or 4 drawings to do that. So you might see it here. You might see, when I drop it, you might see it here. The next drawing might be all the way down here. And the last one might be it bouncing in my hand. So if I only have 2 drawings, right, it's only going to show it here and here. So it's almost like magic. It just disappears. But the more drawings I have in between, you can see it. So, for example, like going back to the bouncing ball, if I put the ball's going to bounce across the screen. If I put the ball here in one drawing, and then here in my next, and then here in my next, if this is all the drawings I have, it's only going to show the ball. It's not going to show the ball moving. It's just going to show it from here to here to here. But if I want to show the ball in action, I have to draw the motion of the ball going from here to here. So from here, I'd probably go here, here. The ball hits, the ball springs back up, it's coming down. And so see how there's more drawings up here, Keen? You see that there's more drawings here than down here? More drawings you have between each other, the slower it'll move. So if you draw more Ant-Men between the 2 you have, it'll show him moving across the paper, the screen. Now, if I had a character, so take a look at this guy right here. Okay, so that's him sitting down normal. And then he looks up. Okay. If I wanted to do it slower, I could add another drawing between these 2 so that there's one more drawing. Does that make sense? It's like, you know how they have like flip books, right? When you flip a book and it has all the drawings in it and the character moves. Well, if you take out pages from that flip book, that character is going to move faster because there's less drawings for you to see. So it's a way to speed up time. And a way to make time longer is to add more drawings. So like if you want a character to move really slow, that's lots of drawings. That's a lot of work. But that means you're drawing Your drawing is moving so slow. Suppose I have this stick here. Suppose I got this wooden stick and it's just standing up. Well, if I want this stick to fall over on its side, if I want this stick to fall over on its side, I need to get it from here to here. And so as an artist or an animator, our job is to make that happen. So suppose the stick is standing here and it slowly starts falling. So I might add a drawing here, then add a drawing here, then add a drawing here. And as it slowly starts falling, it gets here and then boom. So then I might add a drawing right here. So for that stick to fall, it's starting, you see it going, then it's gone. So if you're an ant character, Keen, you want to share that with me again? That was funny. I liked it.
Play. What the heck? I put more stuff, but it's still speeding.
It's gonna need quite a few more drawings in between. Is he shrinking, Keen? What's going on with your guy?
Oh, he was shrinking when he started growing to meet the foot.
So he shrank and then he grew again?
Grew a bit again to meet the foot.
Okay. Or you can always, bring the foot down more if you want, but what's going to happen is, so in your head, kind of time, how long do you think it would take your guy to run across? Maybe a second? How long do you think it would take for him to run from one side to the other? 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1,000.
Yeah, it's just the time stuff.
Yeah. So that's part of it. Part of animation is timing, which is important. So it might take him one second. So if you want your character to be here, and your character is here, if your character comes running in across the page, and he's coming in and he's running, that means you're going to have to draw about 12 drawings for him to get here. So now you can make him smaller or bigger if you want him to shrink. And then you might, maybe even have him here. He puts the brakes on. He puts the brakes on because he looks up and he sees this big old foot coming down on him. But it's going to take about 12 drawings just to get that guy to move across the page. Animation it's lots of drawings. Lots and lots of drawings. So think about watching a 30-minute episode of Bugs Bunny and think about how many drawings they have to do just to make Bugs Bunny move for a minute. If it takes 12 drawings just to do 1 second, It's a lot of work, right? But you can still have fun doing your own animation. Tater, you got something to share? Did you finish your four-legged run?
Yeah, I can pull that up if you want.
Cool. Have fun with it. Have fun with, don't let it bog you down. You're not getting a grade in this class, so don't worry about, hey, Kat, don't worry about, like, the pressure. There's no pressure. The pressure is to have fun. It's like, unlike traditional animation paper, you're not wasting paper. You're just using, the stuff you have on a computer, which makes it so much easier. Kat, you got something to share? How'd you get any more work on your walk cycle?
Not really, but I have something else that I want to share. I obviously haven't finished it yet. It's going to be a little flashy because I have my blank frames and my guidelines and stuff still up, but
I like the motion. So tell us the idea behind your animation.
well, I'm nowhere near done because I'm probably going to work on it over the next while because it's going to take a long time. Well, the idea is that it's a turtle swimming and the camera is following the turtle, and then the camera starts to slow down,
Wow, fancy.
and so the turtle travels on the screen. The turtle's sped up, but the turtle stayed the same, but the camera slowed down, and then the turtle sees the camera and investigates it.
Fancy. I like it. I could tell it was a turtle. In Hawaii, we call it a honu, H-O-N-U. That's nice. I like it. Yeah, see, and that's another challenging thing is you can zoom in and zoom out with your drawings by making them smaller or bigger and act like you're moving the camera around. All right, Tater, you said you were ready? Thanks, Kat. That was awesome. You ready, Tater?
Give me a second to pull it up.
Okay.
It's pretty basic and it's not the best, but it happened. So
Yeah, it's something you can work, but for your founder project, you can, add a mane to that, add a tail. Like I said, this last project, have fun with it. I mean, I hope you've been having fun this whole time. But there's one project I started working on where it was just a blob, and this blob was going to have a hand reach out of it, and it was just going to just morph into its own little thing. And that's what you can do, explore. Like Cindy and Tater found out, like a walk cycle is complex, it's mechanical, it's very mechanical. But you want your best to not make it feel mechanical. It's a mechanical thing that happens, but you want it to look organic and natural and flow. Yeah, play with it. Keen, I liked your idea. I would love to see more of your ideas and what you got to animate. That was good. Everybody looks like they're doing great. I'm curious. I want to see more of Kat's turtle. Nathan, are you still with us?
Yes.
Do you have anything you wanted to share?
No.
No? Okay. How about you, Laura? All right.
Okay, give me a second to pull
Okay.
it up and make sure it's in the right spot. It's a small part of an actual animation that I'm working on, so it's gonna continue, but yeah. I have a small bit of a
Nice.
blink.
Nice.
Did I
And it
feel
feels good. That's the thing about animation too. How does it feel? And that feels
It-
good. It feels right.
Yeah,
It feels right.
when you're done, when you figure out what you actually are doing and learn how to make it look smooth, it's like that's
Right?
good.
You're like, it feels good. It feels right. It feels okay. Like, okay, I'm doing okay. Good job. That was nice. That was a really nice. It's simple, but it was well done. Simple doesn't mean bad. It just means simple. But you had the basics of it. Good timing on it. Liliana and Heather Rose, thank you for joining us. Will you be sharing today, ladies? Maybe? Are you finished working on your stuff to show a little something, something? Hello.
I'm currently working on something that's going to take a very long time to finish.
You're ambitious. Which, you know what? Don't feel bad. A lot of people, when they get into animation, got these great ideas. It's a lot of work, though. It is a lot of work. Is there any part of it that you can share with us? Or would like
Well,
to?
I only just started, so
Okay.
there's not much done.
Okay, no problem. Well, thanks. I'm glad you guys are here. Animation is, for simple things like a ball bouncing, a flag wave, not as challenging. But when you start adding humanoid figures, animals with joints, legs, forearms and legs, it gets complicated. Or suppose if you have to animate a dragon with 3 heads and you got to keep track of everything. It's a lot of work, but keep it up, you guys. You guys are doing really good. Let's see. Hi, Trinidad. Thanks for joining us. Are you just here checking us out, or do you have any animation you'd like to share? Okay, no problem. I'm just glad to see all you guys here. We're going to be wrapping it up in about 15 minutes. So if you guys have questions, let me know. So I'm going to go back to my little demo.
Can I share? I think I finished.
Yeah? All right. Let's see what you got, buddy. You got more drawings than I see. Good job. Are you happy with it? Do you like it? Good job. I like it. See? Yeah,
It's
and that's why
faster
you
than
added
I
those
thought it
extra.
would be. You could
Huh?
barely see. It's faster than I thought it would be. You could barely see the angel, the dude that he just stomped on, tossing a car at him at the end.
So you might want to add a couple more drawings or copy and paste that one frame and hold it a little bit longer if you want. So like if you, in some of my drawings, here's something I learned about Flip a Clip that it'll probably work with almost any other animation program. If you're drawing your character, try not to have your eyes, if you want to make it easy on yourself, have your eyes not attached to the outside edge of the head or the mouth. Try to keep the mouth inside. Because if you have to animate the eyes, you could just copy and paste the frame before and erase the eyes, and the eyes aren't touching anything. So you're not going to mess up with the basic overall structure of the character. So the only thing you have to change is the eyes. So you can make your character wink, blink, and then you can do the same thing with the mouth. If the mouth isn't touching part of the head, you can change his mouth and make your character smile or frown and just copy and paste the frame before. Little tricks that'll save you some time from redrawing the whole character. And then every now and then it's nice to redraw it, just because it gives life to your animation. Can get a little static. If you watch Bob's Burgers or any other of the programs, if you look in Bob's Burgers, they don't do a lot of walking around. They do a lot of standing and a lot of dialogue. And the reason for that is it's less work, less animation, and they can spend more time on other scenes where they can spend more money and effort versus them just talking. Bob talking to the kids or Linda talking to the kids. But it's basically, you know, explore. You guys, if I had these tools available to me when I was going to school and learning animation, even before, you guys have a good chance to get ahead of the game right now. I went up to Blizzard. They're in Irvine, and they do World of Warcraft. And I had a portfolio review with them, and a lot of these kids nowadays, they've got a leg up because of the iPad, because of programs like Flip-a-Clip. It's all accessible. A lot accessible. You can make a little mini movie just by Flip-a-Clip alone. You get a group together, you know, like how Tater, Jay, Kat, you guys all got together and did the comic book. You guys get together, you guys can make a small mini movie. That'd be kind of cool. Little mini animation movie. Doesn't have to be long. You guys could do the same thing. You know, maybe share scenes, make a real story, and say, okay, you animate this character, you work on this part. That'd be kind of cool. So here's one thing if you want to do it. Do a bouncing ball. So here's your frame. Do a bouncing ball coming in from your top left and exiting your top right. Now, the bouncing ball can do anything you want it to do while it's in the frame, but as long as it leaves the top right of the frame, because if you guys do this, I'll try to collect it, and what can happen is if everyone follows the program, if you do a scene with a bouncing ball, and you can have the bouncing ball explode, then regrow from a plant, and then bounce off the scene again. If everybody does this, I will collect your videos, and if it's done right, you'll have a bouncing ball from one page to another, and I can link it together in one giant loop. So Tater did a ball, Jay did a ball, Cindy did a ball, but your ball, like I said, doesn't have to be a basic ball. You could have it crack, another ball bounce out, a bird flies out, and then I can connect them to make one big film of a bouncing ball with all of us in it. Just a thought, if you guys want to do that for one of your last projects. If you could save it, because I know Flip-a-Clip does MP4. MP4 would be perfect, and I could edit it together. So just a thought, something fun. Any questions before we start wrapping it up, folks? I'm glad you guys are doing good. Yeah?
Yeah. So I have a bouncing ball.
All right, let's see the bouncing ball.
Trying to open it up.
No worries.
It's so smooth.
No worries, stay in. We're not a rush. We got time. Cool, very cool. I like that double hop in the front, the top. I like that nice double hop. The timing's really good on it. So next week, what you might want to do, try doing this for me if you can. Add legs to that. add legs to that, maybe, or maybe just eyes to that. Turn it into a frog. I want to, for some reason, I want to see that bouncing ball into a frog. Maybe I'll do my own frog. All right. Well, it sounds like everyone's got this under control. Cindy, you have any questions?
Oh, here. This is what I've been doing while you're talking. I'm having
Hey.
having the issues that have to do with the head changing shape in each frame. You know how when you draw a face, you're supposed to flip it and make sure it looks good, flip too. So, you know, I've copied and pasted from the beginning to end, and it reveals the flaws in the shape.
But
Here,
you know,
so,
between you and I, and hey, I like it. I like it.
But you can see the head is changing shape.
But you see, in animation, I was doing background recreations for Chuck Jones for a while, for some of their animated cells, and because they were selling them as art. And Maurice Noble was a background designer. Started Disney, worked on Snow White, worked with Chuck, worked very closely with Chuck, co-produced The Dot and the Line with him. I recreated one of Maurice's backgrounds for a Wile E. Coyote cartoon. And he looked at it and he's like, hey, that's good, but it needs a shadow here to keep the eye on the frame, in the frame. And I said, well, I get that, Maurice, but I was trying to be true to the cartoon because there was no shadow in the cartoon. And then Maurice said this to me. He said, animated films were not meant to be seen as a still picture. So he said, it wasn't meant to be framed on a wall. It was meant to be seen in a cartoon. So he says, now, since it's framed, now as an artist, you have to make a choice to complement that piece. So your drawing of the head and if it changed, you know, that's part of the challenge of it, you know. That's where I did my master drawing. I don't know if I have it still. I did another one. Oh, like this one right here. That's where I did this, where on my back, like on my layer 1, on my first layer, my first drawing on Flip-A-Clip, I will draw a head. And remember your arcs. I will draw a head on the other side about the same height as it. And then remember your arcs. This is all being done in Flip-A-Clip. So I got my chin here. My arc is going to match up to that. My eyes are going to match up. My nose is going to match up. My mouth is going to match up. That'll help you stay on track. Top of your head, it's going to dip in the middle, but the top of the head should match up. So if you keep these as guides, generally the overall shape of your head's you're going to have the most challenge with the cheekbones. You know, you're going to have like, well, what happens when look at me, when I turn my head, this gets shorter. Foreshortening happens. So foreshortening is happening. So when I tilt my head down, all of this is going to get a little compressed. This gets shorter, you know, everything gets more compressed. But no, I like your main drawings look good. Do you have my email?
I'm not sure if I do. Is it in the, is it posted in the chat anywhere?
Scott, can you put my email in the chat, please? Thank you. If you have questions, you know, let me know, but you're making good progress. You're making very good progress. I'm really impressed with that exercise walk cycle. Because you got the arms going and your passing position isn't just a regular passing position. You got them on their tippy toes.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure out why that particular thing didn't match up with the example, but you know, then it hits you.
Yeah,
like,
hey.
oh.
And that's how we learn. But like I said, there's no judgment. We're all learning. You know, we're here for fun. We're here to have a good time. It's not supposed to feel like, you know, a class where, oh, did I pass? You know, I think I'm going to go pass fail because I don't think I'm going to like my grade. So
Thank you.
let's see. You're welcome, Liliana Heather. It's always a pleasure to have you. It looks like Scott did put my email in the chat. Any of you guys have questions? Liliana Heather, I know you guys are animating a movie. Sounds like it's going to be awesome. I'd really like to see some of it. Jay, blew my socks off again as usual. Next level, Jay. That's what I'm going to call you. Next level. I was pushing it, which is cool. Nathaniel Tater, thank you for joining us. If you guys have questions, feel free to email me, but keep drawing and use the program. Have fun with it. And that bouncing ball thing I put out there, if you guys want to do it, let's see what we can make. All right, you guys. Have a great week. You guys be safe. Aloha.
Bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, Darrell.
Bye.